In 2015, I got diagnosed with CKD stage 4, and of course, I was told that there is no coming back from kidney disease. But I didn't really like that diagnosis. The last thing I wanted to do was to end up in dialysis. Then my daughter found you. It just blew me away that someone had done all this research in relation to nutrition and exercise and supplementation. I followed your advice and I'm no more risking dialysis now. Catherine here. Today's video is all about Harrison's story. He's one of my subscribers and his story is amazing because he actually reversed late-stage kidney disease. He is not risking dialysis anymore. Harrison first contacted me here in comment section, and as soon as I read his message, I knew I needed to talk to him. He told me about everything that made a difference for his kidneys, his new mindset, his diet, and the remedies he is taking. In particular, there is one remedy, an herbal tea, that he really loved, and he found it here in Double O Kidney. More about it later on in today's video. And guys, this story is amazing because in 2021, Harrison was approaching stage 5 kidney disease, but now he is in stage 3B as per his last analysis. So let's see the message he wrote me here in Double O Kidney. Catherine, you're an angel. My daughter found your channel and watching your videos was like, wow! I come from a family that had cancer. It has been a really big thing in our lives, and I lost my mother and father and my sister to cancer, and it really frustrated me, but everyone said we just had to sit there and watch them die, you know. In 2015, I got diagnosed, and of course, I was told that there is no coming back from kidney disease. And I didn't really like that diagnosis. My kidney function had deteriorated to stage 5, but I was really determined to fight because the last thing I wanted to do was to end up in dialysis. Then my daughter found you. This was the first time I ever thought of it, and it just blew me away that someone had done all this research in relation to nutrition and exercise and supplementation. And it was so exciting, and it was empowering to think that you could do something for yourself. I'm now pretty fit and quite healthy, and my journey has been quite long, but I'm no more risking dialysis now. So I wanted to ask, is there a way to contact you personally? Of course, you can contact me. Then we exchanged emails and I was able to learn more about him. He came across Double O Kidney early this year in 2022, and he's been on a real journey with kidney disease. He's a retired truck driver, 65-year-old, and he has been suffering from kidney disease since 2015. Since he was diagnosed, however, his kidney function got worse and worse until in 2021 he was approaching stage 5. But today he is not risking dialysis anymore. In just 6 months, his eGFR went from 18 back to 38. His creatinine dropped from 3.8 to 1.9. Harrison, how did you find out you had kidney disease? Did you have any symptom? After what happened to my mother and my father and my sister, I've been always pretty worried about my own health and my heart. And since 2012, which is where I could find my information back to for all my labs, my eGFR and my creatinine have been flagged. And it wasn't until about 6 or 7 years ago that I started asking my doctor, how come this is flagged? What's going on? And he will always just tell me, oh, don't worry about it. Then I looked it up online one day and I found I was like, holy cow, I'm in stage 4 of kidney disease. So I freaked out a little bit. Okay, that must have been quite scary. And I know why. Well, I think I know why his doctor didn't tell him anything about his declining kidney function.
Hey guys, Catherine here. Tired of conflicting health tips? Stop guessing and start following a plan made just for you. Improving your kidney function may be easier than you think. email me at catherine@newhopeforkidneypatients.com or hit the link in the comments.
You see, especially in people with high blood pressure, seeing a decrease in kidney function is common. It almost has to be expected after a certain age. And Harrison also told me that he has been taking quite a few different medications in the last 10 years, which also contribute to his decline in kidney function. Now guys, this is a very important lesson for us in my opinion. It happens way too frequently that people are told that their kidneys are not working anymore when it is too late, when they have to start dialysis. But Harrison was able to avoid that, and all because he decided to check his own blood tests by himself. He was able to start treatment earlier than many patients, and this made a difference for him because he is now in stage 3B. And I know that I've said this a million times in my videos, but anyone with risk factors for kidney disease should do exactly what Harrison did. Anyone with diabetes, with high blood pressure and heart problems like Harrison, or who a history of kidney disease in his family should always test for kidney function regularly. Because the sooner you start taking care of your kidneys, the higher your chance of being able to improve are. And don't rely on your doctor alone to tell you if everything is okay, because as we have seen, they will not always tell you. Okay guys, I believe you want to see what helped Harrison in practice, what supplement he is taking and what kind of diet he is following. I mean, I was very curious too. So I asked him, what made the difference for your kidney health? Harrison, you mentioned that nutrition, exercise, and supplementation help you. Can you tell us a bit more about that? My daughter found your channel and she started taking notes for me. Watching your videos and reading her notes was like, wow, this was the first time I ever thought of it, and it just blew me away. All this research in relation to nutrition and exercise, supplementation, and it was so exciting and it was so empowering to think that you could do something for yourself. And so I grabbed it with both hands and I held onto it. I tried to follow all your advice. I'm now pretty fit and quite healthy. I've introduced supplementation and exercise into my life, and I'm eating alkaline. Okay, thank you very much. A very important question. What sort of changes have you found most effective? You talk a little bit about the acid alkaline kind of thing in your videos. Well, that was a light bulb moment for me, the acid and alkaline thing. And I thought, why aren't we taught this? And then of course, I've subsequently 2 years ago become a vegetarian, or sort of, I just stopped eating meat and all meat products and 99% of dairy products, apart from ice cream, And it's made such a difference to the way I feel. Okay, this is amazing. Thank you for sharing. I'm particularly happy to read that he is feeling better with this diet, because that's what's stopping most people from following an alkaline diet. I mean, many people don't want to give up meat and protein in general because they believe these foods make them feel better, but they are no good for your kidneys. And there is tons of research to prove that, and as Harrison says, once you stop eating meat and protein, you will feel better. But there is more about his journey that impressed me. Here's what he says about exercising. Then my family bought me a dog for my birthday in order to make me exercise. I mean, what more could I want? The other thing is the tea you made in your video, the one with astragalus and those little berries. I started drinking it 6 months ago and never stopped. Okay guys, I bet you want to see which tea he is talking about. So this is what I consider one of the most powerful kidney repair tonics you can find. Very recent studies found out that combining these exact ingredients can give you incredible results in terms of diabetic wounds healing. It can also help improve the glucose and lipid metabolic disorders. And most importantly, this recipe can make the kidney function of patients in stage 4 of CKD go up by 12.4% in just 3 months. So So I was not surprised when Harrison told me this tea helped him, and he has been drinking this tea for the last 6 months, 1 cup every morning. But I recommend you consulting your doctor if you want to try this tea. Make sure that this tea is safe for you. And obviously all the ingredients have been tested on thousands of patients in many studies, and they are safe. Let's see them. First ingredient is astragalus, one of the most powerful herbal remedies on earth, according to science. Studies say that it can lower blood pressure and improve heart function. It can lower blood sugar levels and treat diabetes. It can lower proteinuria, one of the most important markers of kidney damage. It restores kidney function in all the stages of kidney disease. And also, this herbal remedy can be made even more powerful when combined with certain other remedies that work in synergy with it. Yes, combining 2 or more natural remedies to get a healing effect that is not obtainable with just one remedy is exactly how herbal medicine works according to science. This is why in this recipe I also added Rehmannia glutinosa. It was tested in combination with astragalus both in CKD and in diabetic patients. The herb targets the kidneys directly, so it is considered very useful, especially for improving the strength of the still working aspects of the kidney. And there is a study in particular in which this remedy was proven able to heal diabetic wounds, but only when combined with astragalus. Next ingredient to make astragalus extremely powerful against swelling, also use juniper berry. These berries you see here are a powerful stimulant for the kidneys and bladder. They will help flush out impurities and toxins, and according to research, they will directly increase the rate of kidney filtration. Next ingredient, turmeric powder. Yeah, you guys probably already know about the incredible benefits of turmeric for kidney health. But did you know that studies show that combining curcumin from turmeric and astragalus could improve the glucose and lipid metabolic disorders? Turmeric is incredibly powerful against CKD because it blunts the effects of the inflammatory molecules and enzymes that lead to kidney disease, according to studies. This is probably one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory remedies in the world. Add everything except the turmeric to the mortar and make these remedies into small pieces so they can be used to make the tea. Then these herbs need to soak in water for 2 to 4 hours before making the tea. Let's also add the turmeric and a pinch of pepper. This is needed for the turmeric to be bioavailable. This step can also be done the night before if you want to make the tea in the morning. Now they're ready to boil. When the water boils, reduce the heat and let simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. Strain. Allow the tea to cool, and our kidney healing tea is ready. And guys, I really believe that Harrison's story is incredibly inspiring, and I thank him for sharing his journey with us. But he is not the only one who battled with CKD and won. When they told me my GFR was 12 and to prepare for the big D word, I said no. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. Today, my GFR is 25. I've reversed renal failure. Guys, today I have an incredibly inspiring success story to share with you. Charlotte contacted me via email, and she also shared her story here on Double Kidney. She is a nurse, 59-year-old, and when she was just 50, she received a heart transplant. Unfortunately, renal disease is a frequent complication after a heart transplant, but nobody warned her about that. Her GFR dropped to 12. That's when she said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to avoid this, to avoid the big D word. And well, she did just that. She is not only in stage 4 now, not risking dialysis anymore, but her GFR has been going up instead of down for the last 6 months.
It felt amazing to me.
So I interviewed her. She told me everything about the diet she is following, the remedies that help her, the good habits she started. So let's hear from her. Charlotte, How have you found out you had kidney problems? I had a heart transplant 9 years ago, and with a heart transplant or any transplant, we need anti-rejection medication. That particular medication harms kidneys. So that is the root of my kidney problems. I've been in stage 4 for quite some time until I had contracted some type of respiratory problem. That was pretty hard on my system, and the whole picture brought me from stage 4, where I was for 5 years, to stage 5, the dreaded 5. And then when I recovered to a point that I could see my nephrologist, she said, well, the big D word, it's time for dialysis for you. Okay guys, until this part, her story is nothing unheard of. A kidney issue that could have been avoided if only the patient would have been informed earlier. And a diagnosis that came way too late, like in many cases. Charlotte is a nurse, and she has been seeing a nephrologist after her transplant, and yet nobody told her she could have taken steps to protect her kidneys. She had to find out by herself, and eventually she did. Another question for Charlotte. What did you do when the diagnosis arrived? When I was told about dialysis, I picked myself up. I said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. But all that my nephrologist told me was to take a class that's offered in the communities to prepare for the big D. That's where I heard about Catherine's channel on YouTube. I'm getting chills telling you that, because that was a pivotal point. I started making the recipes and just doing what I had to do to take care of myself in a new way. I stopped eating meat. I am mostly vegan. I started taking the powerful antioxidant to help me sleep better. Okay, this is when I stopped her. You see, I really wanted to hear more about what helped her. I wanted to know what she was eating when she was in stage 5, and I wanted to know what antioxidant helped her. Because you know, what Charlotte achieved is outstanding. Her GFR was 12. Now, GFR is the main indicator of kidney function. It tells us exactly how much our kidneys are working on a scale from 0 to 120. And when someone's GFR is below 60, it means they have kidney disease. But when GFR drops below 15, it means they need dialysis, like in the case of Charlotte. And while there are certain things you can do when your GFR is, around 30 or 40 to greatly delay dialysis and improve your kidney function, not much works anymore when your GFR is 12. And I really wanted to know everything about the diet that helped her, the antioxidant, the good habits. So, what diet helped you doubling your GFR? Since I received my new heart, I try my best to live to the fullest every day. It's something that sits in the back of my mind all the time. My line of thinking is that I now have to live life for 2 people, myself and my donor. But I didn't know you needed to avoid meat and fish when you have a kidney issue. And I was always told that meat is good for you and that fish is great for your heart, but I'm almost vegan now. No meat, no fish, no eggs, no milk or cheese either. Finding a diet that works for both my new heart and my kidneys is hard. I'm completely avoiding meat and fish now. I have to take a supplement for that, but I don't really like supplements, and there are just a few that I take. I already take 8 different kinds of medication twice a day. Right after my transplant, I was downing 40 plus pills a day at 4 separate times. Okay guys, so Charlotte is following a diet that I usually refer to as the VLPD. It's frankly the only kind of diet that can really help you when you are near stage 5. It didn't surprise me at all reading about that from her. Now, something that surprised me a bit is that she had to take a supplement once she had to give up eating fish. And that's because fish do actually contain an essential nutrient that's very hard to get when you don't eat fish anymore. This is a nutrient that's key to protect both your heart and kidneys. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids. Okay guys, I believe this is a really underrated supplement for those with kidney problems, because you see, omega-3s actually are an essential nutrient. Just like a vitamin, you cannot live without enough omega-3s in your diet. And that's why Charlotte, who is only taking 2 supplements, is taking omega-3s. Now, there are foods that contain some omega-3s and that are suitable for a renal diet. They include chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts. But supplementing this essential nutrient has impressive benefits for your heart and kidneys. Taking omega-3 fatty acid supplements has been linked to reduce kidney damage in patients with CKD. There is evidence that it can help with heart health, also cholesterol levels, triglycerides, inflammation, and more. Another thing omega-3s can help you with is proteinuria, a most important predictor of kidney disease progression. One large review of studies conducted on 9 trials comprising 444 patients concluded that omega-3s significantly reduce the risk of dialysis and is associated with a lower risk of proteinuria. Now guys, Charlotte also mentioned a second supplement she is taking, and that really helped her too. Let's hear about that. I started taking the powerful antioxidant melatonin to help me sleep better, because I also found out that losing sleep is bad for your kidneys. And I was sleeping very little, and of course I got back into my exercise and I felt my body strengthening. But I'm so excited to tell you, my lab numbers only 3 weeks on the diet, my GFR, which was 13 and pretty sadly 12, it went up to 17. Now that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that is a lot, because the GFR is not easy to move. I was able to say I'm too healthy for dialysis because the cutoff is at 15, and that was so encouraging. My creatinine went from 3.7 to 2.6. I shared with my nephrologist, of course, what I was doing, and I think she will be watching your videos too. And she also confirmed that I needed to sleep more. And I can tell you, my latest blood work, which was 2 months ago, is GFR 25 and the creatinine 2.21, and I think I'm still improving. What an amazing story! Her achievement is frankly impressive, and I really believe she is right about the importance of sleep. You see, according to science, poor sleep is one of the most underrated dangers for our kidneys. 1 in 3 of us suffers from poor sleep, with stress, computers, and taking work home often blamed.
I haven't slept in a year.
And the result of all those sleepless nights can do more damage than people realize. Did you know that sleeping less than 6 hours per night is proven to have profound consequences on your physical health? Obesity, coronary heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and a shortened life expectancy are all linked to poor sleep. And the kidney actually seems to be the organ most impacted by lack of sleep. Researchers think that lack of sleep can directly affect the physiology of the kidney, causing serious damage. How can we avoid this? Well, Charlotte mentioned that she only takes 2 supplements. One is omega-3 fatty acids, great for heart and kidney health. The other one is melatonin. What is melatonin? Melatonin is a hormone that your brain produces in response to darkness. When taken as a supplement, it also has incredibly powerful antioxidant properties. Melatonin has become a very popular and inexpensive sleeping aid. It's particularly powerful in instances where the circadian rhythm is disrupted.
You mean living on jet lag time?
It really works. I can vouch for it personally, by the way. When I take it, I always feel more energized the day after. Now, melatonin works for me, but it may work even better for someone with CKD. You see, studies say that the production of melatonin is decreased with the progression of CKD. Someone with kidney problems may experience huge benefits from this natural remedy. And increasing sleep quality and duration is a proven way of protecting your kidneys. A study showed that melatonin administration attenuated oxidative stress, inflammation, and restored renal function and structure.
Are you serious?
How to take melatonin to sleep better? Melatonin can be taken in doses around 0.3 mg per day, and my advice here is to start with a lower dose and increase as needed. Take it 2 hours to 30 minutes before bedtime for maximum effectiveness. What you need to know about melatonin is that you can also buy it at the supermarket, but you will need to cut those pills. You see, most melatonin supplements come in 1 milligram tablet, but that's way more melatonin than you actually need. The human body only produces 0.3 milligrams of melatonin per day. Because while higher doses can't hurt you except from making you sleep worse, it can reduce even further the body's natural production of melatonin. Not to mention that you will be extremely groggy the morning after if you take too much melatonin. But you can mostly find 1 milligram tablets. What I usually do is to buy this cheap format and cut the pills in 3. So I save money and sleep better. And if you want to see me cutting some vitamin supplements too, to make them more effective, this video up here is for you. Hello, is this a research lab? My name is DF and my kidney failed. My GFR is less than 5. I have been dependent on the D machine for all my life. Yes, I do 3 sessions a week at the center in town, and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be tied to a machine. I want to participate in your trial. DF decided that day that she wouldn't be dependent of the big D machine anymore. DF is a 22-year-old woman born with a genetic condition, presenting to the center of her last session with the D machine of her life. A miracle happened in the life of someone who really needed it, and we are going to witness it. DF, a woman born with a genetic condition, went from needing 3 sessions a week with the D machine to complete freedom in just 1 week. And this is no work of fiction. What we are going to witness today is based on a case report that was published in a prestigious peer-reviewed journal and which is supported by scientific evidence. And I've been working with people suffering from this kind of problems for more than 10 years now, and I've met countless people who were all told the same thing by professionals. There is nothing we can do. We just wait for ESRF and then you start the big D. And you know what one of the worst parts is? Somehow it's always all your fault. Professionals always seem to find a reason why you have this problem, which is entirely up to you. Something you did, something you eat, it's always your fault. Now imagine telling that to someone who is 22, or even worse, to someone who is not even old enough to understand what you are saying. It's not common to see a 22-year-old ending up with ESRF. Let's see how this happened to her. It was clear since the beginning that poor DF never had a chance. There was nothing she could have done to prevent ending up needing RRT. In the case of DF, it wasn't her fault, and no one could have told her that. DF reached the final stage way too soon. She was born with a genetic condition that caused her nephrons to stop working completely. Nephrons are the filtering units of the kidney. During her entire life, she was constantly suffering from uremic signs caused by renal issues, even without knowing it. The researchers following her case believed that even her growth was hindered by her problem. And they eventually found out what was causing her to reach ESRF so soon. DF was suffering from a genetic form called chronic glomerulonephritis. This is a form of RF caused by one or more genes not working correctly. Some people are born with it and there's nothing they can do except RRT or the big D. But this was not the case for DF because she was part of a trial that found a working alternative to RRT. But despite having a GFR lower than 5 since the day she was born, this woman was eventually able to avoid RRT or the big D. You see, she was just enrolled in a trial that would change her life forever. A very promising trial, a trial that bought us one of the most useful supplements you can find today. A natural nutrient that was going to completely stop her need for the big D. This natural supplement you see here has incredible properties. It's a natural free radical scavenger, meaning that it protects the body from the #1 cause of aging. Most importantly, when assumed orally in large doses, it actually acts as a natural form of... This is a soluble fiber that acts like a brush in the intestine. And when DF started to take this, what happened to her is simply incredible. And as I was saying, these findings changed the field of nephrology completely. Yes, what you see here is called acacia fiber. Now, what you should know about this supplement is that it is perfectly safe. It's not an allergen, it's not modified, and it's completely natural. It's very often used in packaged foods to preserve their freshness, so probably you already had some of it without knowing. But clearly, there is a difference in the way someone will take acacia fiber as a supplement compared to what you will get in packaged foods. Now, a very important question, is this really proven to work, and how can you benefit from these findings? As I was saying, the FKs really changed things in the scientific community. Many studies were done on people with renal issues after this incredible result. More recently, this supplement was also tested in other people with issues similar to that of DF. 36 people currently undergoing RRT were trialed with it for 3 months, and they all had significant improvements in creatinine levels, urea, and other parameters. Now, even more incredible, in 2019, the same researcher that helped DF decided to help even more people because he really believes in this supplement as a way to replace RRT. So he did another trial, larger this time. He tested this supplement in 9 people. All of them were undergoing RRT before starting acacia fiber, AF in short. Now the incredible part, all of them were able to stop RRT to avoid the need for the big D machine thanks to AF. Some of them for 2 years and one even for 8 years. Now guys, this story is quite amazing and gives us new hope for all those in need for RRT. And seeing the impressive results these researchers were able to achieve with DF, there's one question that absolutely needs an answer. Can you still benefit from acacia fiber if you are in stage 3 or 4? Yes, absolutely. It's clear as per scientific evidence that acacia fiber can help lower creatinine levels in all the stages. This is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant that scavenges free radicals in the body. Now, while the main advantage of AF is another, don't underestimate this benefit. You see, many researchers believe that antioxidants are the new frontier when it comes to improving the filtering ability of the renal system, when it comes to lowering creatinine levels. And by the way, I really believe that really all of us can seriously benefit from antioxidants. Science says that they can greatly delay the need for RRT in people with CKD. Clear that someone who's taking acacia fiber to, avoid the need for RRT needs way more than antioxidants, no matter how powerful they are. And in fact, the main advantage of this powerful natural element is another. You see, this fiber is able to bind when entering the intestine through humectants. Now, if someone is in need to avoid RRT, the only way to achieve that today is relying on a substance that can get rid of what causes all the problems related to ESRF. And a way to tell if these cores are present in someone's body is creatinine. And well, speaking of which, be prepared to be shocked. DF was able to completely stop RRT just 1 week after starting to take AF. And researchers had to monitor her creatinine levels to make sure she wasn't risking anything. Incredibly, after just 21 days, her creatinine dropped from 15.32 milligrams per DL to 3.39 milligrams per DL, which is what someone in stage 3 would have. But after some time, her creatinine went even lower at just 2.3 milligrams per DL, which is frankly astonishing. Now, we will see if DF's story eventually had a happy ending in a moment. Before that, let's take a look at how the supplement can actually help you from a practical point of view. As usual, remember to consult with a professional before changing anything in your regimen. Today, many people are already using AF. We have tons of data about it, and we know that taking it the right way is key to get the results wanted. AF was tested in many studies in quantities ranging from 10 to 30 grams per day, depending on various factors. For example, someone who wants to take care of their sugar levels would benefit from around 20 grams a day of AF. Around 15 grams taken before meals were used to control cholesterol levels. AF is usually in powder and mixed with a large glass of water several times per day. Using enough water is an important step because it's dietary fiber we are talking about here. And adding 15 to 20 grams of soluble dietary fiber to the diet is a sure way to get great benefit for the gut. Now, it also comes with a couple of potential unwanted facts. First, never take it without enough water. Also, soluble fiber might slow down the absorption of other substances, so don't take it at the same time as things that may be important. Cache fiber is very safe, however, and a lot of people use it every day. The supplement is also cheap and easy to find and can make all the difference in the world for those wanting to avoid RRT as long as possible. So let's see how it ended for DF, shall we? Does DF's story have a happy ending? When the DF case was published, it was some kind of a record in the world of nephrology. It never happened before that a person as young as DF and with a GFR as low as what she had was able to avoid RRT for as long as she was able to. 4 years. DF was able to achieve 4 years of beautiful, immensely significant freedom. Unfortunately, the case study doesn't go any farther, but we know that her well-being immensely improved during these 4 years because when her problem was under control with AF, the researchers that were following her were able also help her with other problems she had. This is why I'm inclined to believe that the reason why they stopped the trial so successful after 4 years was the transplant. I want to believe that she finally was in good shape enough to receive this immense gift and joy in life with a renowned sense of freedom. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more stories from scientific literature, this video up here may interest you. And this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless.